Hello, Facebook friends and family. Here we are on day 4 of Bigger Love, Bigger Love live transmissions. These transmissions are here to help you love big and attract your soul husband by reclaiming your original powerful feminine blueprint. And my name is Dunja Rado. I'm a coach, healer, mentor, and activator, and I help women attract their soulmate, their soul husband that they desire deep within by reclaiming their original feminine blueprint. Alrighty then, so today I look forward to kind of delving into this topic, which I'm sure every woman has thought at one point or another, and that is, why aren't there any good men? Right? It's almost a go-to topic for any chick flick. And almost every friend that you've had has probably said this sentence in a conversation over coffee. So what I'm going to talk about today is the true reason for the frustration. So let's delve into a little bit, what does that mean? Why aren't there any good men? So why do you meet men that are not up to par, that are not matching your standards, your values, your needs, that are not respectful to who you are as a human being? Why are you often disappointed, ignored, or even rejected? So these are quite painful topic for every woman, but I promise you at the end of this conversation, you will feel better, you will feel relief, and you will find a specific and precise way of how to turn things around. And that will happen when I tell you the real reason why you are frustrated and resentful. And it is not the men. The real reason for the frustration and resentment goes much deeper. What I've discovered from my work with my clients and in my own life is that we are often angry deeply at ourselves. We're angry at how unfair we were treated when we were growing up, that we didn't have the time and space and energy and love that is required for you to become a loving, beautiful adult woman. You didn't have a real supporting environment which championed you as a woman, especially when you were a little girl, which championed you as a little girl, where there were people who were creating space and energy for you to discover and nurture your feminine gifts. And the space where you would know what it means to become a woman. And if you had that space, you would have been a self-assured, beautiful, confident, vibrant, alive, feminine being. But you didn't have that. And that is what you're truly angry at. And you're also angry at yourself, why you can't get over it. So I want to unpack a little further and help you understand how you can reclaim the power back to yourself. So since you had no time that was dedicated for you as a girl, as a young woman, you didn't learn what it means to dedicate space and time and love to yourself. Because as children, what we learn is what is modeled to us. And if we don't see loving, beautiful behavior towards us as women, we will not value ourselves as women. So what's happening is that because you're kind of stuffed down and suppressed this pain of not really receiving what was meant for you, what is showing up is just frustration and anger about the men who are showing up and who are not contributing to your happiness. And I just want to tell you that's like a surface trigger, and the feeling that you actually have a lot more power regarding versus trying to change men who show up. You have so much more power regarding the feeling and the pain that you carry about not being treated well when you were young. So also what I want to say is that the feelings that you carry, and this is what a lot of people have like an aha moment when I'm doing my coaching with them, when they realize that the shame and the fear and the feeling of inadequacy that they kind of carried all their life is not really theirs, and it's actually the result of them as children taking over and absorbing those same exact feelings from one of the parents. This is usually what happens in 98% of cases with the clients I work with, that every feeling where you're not feeling good about yourself, you've learned from a parental figure. And it is a feeling that they themselves could not process and weren't even aware of, and just projected and dumped it on you. And so when we actually get to the point of working with these feelings, what happens is such a relief for a woman to realize that none of that shit that she was thinking about herself and carrying, especially these energies of disappointment and feeling discouraged and just unappreciated, were not hers. So what happens when we actually clear these energies? You have space to reclaim yourself as a woman. And I want to invite and give you some tips and some ways that you can do that, to actually recalibrate the experience of what you had when you were little. Because this is our power. The power is not to blame people who have dumped their shit on us. Our power is to actually learn to process this and return to those to whom it actually belongs. And in that, we reclaim our power. What happens when you reclaim your power? You become really sure of what your needs are. You're not wondering, oh, should I be wanting this or needing this? Is this too needy? Is this not a good way to behave with a man? Is this, like you stop this internal tug of war about who you are and how you should be behaving. You become very anchored in what your true natural needs are, and you actually know how to meet them, and you know how to find friends, acquaintances, partners who also want to meet them. This is the huge, huge change that happens when you do the inner work on healing and releasing all the material that you adopted that is not yours. So for example, if you feel ashamed that you don't know how to be seductive enough with a man, that you talk about too honestly about how you feel, that drives men away. When we do the work, the inner work, what happens is you actually release this lack of knowing, which is something your parent didn't know how to do. So what you think is your weakness is actually not. And this is tremendous relief, where you can realize that this weakness that you think is so horrible about you is not yours. It's an unconsciously dumped energy from your parents. This creates incredible relief in your heart. And it frees your heart to start behaving in a way that's more congruent with you. And that helps you attract people who are more congruent with your energetic space, not this dumped energy from the past. So being freed from that also then frees you from frustration and resentment. And that allows you to be really vibrant and alive, and allows you to stop being afraid. That is what, when you're carrying someone else's unprocessed energy, especially from a young age, we're usually very afraid. And this is because we are reacting to something that is foreign and strange in our space, energetic space. It's almost like if someone would implant something in your body energetically and you're carrying it all your life, not knowing that it's actually affecting who you are and how you present yourself in the world and how much you can just experience life to the fullest, exactly how you want. The fears that you adopted from your parents are the ones limiting this expansion. So I suggest you take some time to take your power back and set aside some time to do this inner work. I offer this inner work in my private coaching container, but you can also play with yourself. Play with the things that are areas which you have not had the courage to go into. Go into those areas, explore them. I promise you, it will not be as hard as you think, because the voices of fear, the voices of discouragement are not yours. And the moment you start, even for a slight moment, like embodying who you are by trying to discover something outside of these boundaries and limitations you put for yourself, you start building your power. I'm having goosebumps telling you this. Your body starts awakening. You become more real. And you know what has more power? It's reality. It's what's true. And when you become more aligned with the truth, these past energies have to dissipate and dissolve. And that's the most beautiful part of the work that I do with my clients. How much of the shit they thought it was theirs dissolves through simple appreciation of who they actually are. And so what I think is really key is self-love and self-acceptance. And when you realize that this anger you're feeling towards why there aren't good men in the world is actually frustration of why aren't you the good and the great and the amazing woman that you actually know you are. It's frustration internal, inside of you. You can do something about it. And I really invite you not to drop back into like a sleeper mode and, wait for someone to save you. That will just continue to create same patterns and dynamic of your past. And you can change that. It is an amazing, experience for me as a coach to see people's transformations when they are dissolving and rejecting and releasing the energies that are not theirs. And so when I speak of energies, these energies of fear actually create negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, which are again not yours. So you can see the ripple effect of this work. When you start to work through some of those core beliefs, you start to let go of shit that doesn't serve you without forcing yourself. It's a natural experience, and that's what I want to instill in you, that you can, through deep inner work, really take over this space of yourself naturally. When you're releasing all the shit that's not yours, you're taking over your natural space and your natural state of being, the well-being of being the woman that you wanted always to be, but weren't allowed, weren't encouraged, weren't championed. That can change for you starting today. And so when you are able to do this, you can find out the fun and amazing and the light-hearted you that shows up. One that is not burdened by the past and even past experiences of being disappointed and rejected and ignored by men. When you heal those core situations, these evidences that piled up later in life simply dissolve as well. And you start afresh. You start to see like this is day one. So all of this was some kind of strange preparation for your life. And your life, your true life as a powerful feminine being begins now. And so when you actually choose yourself, when you choose to let go of who you're not, then your soul husband can choose you. That's exactly how it works, my friends, this game of life. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're listening on replay, let me know how this resonated. And if you have any questions, also let me know. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, darlings.